Taurus 29. Two cobblers working at a table. Now, one way of seeing this is two old blokes who are boringly mending shoes, and that's what they do, and it's kind of tiresome and tiring and back-breaking, and they don't get paid very much money. They're workmen, you know. You could see it that way. And a lot of people do, for some reason, choose to see their working lives as a form of slavery, wage slavery. That's their choice, and most people choose that, unfortunately. But it's not necessary. Another way to see these two cobblers is very positively indeed. First of all, because there's two of them, they gain the benefits of synergy. If one is particularly skillful at a job and the other can't do it, he can make up for the lack of the other, and so on. And there's a load of skills involved in being a cobbler. It's not just mending shoes. You have to talk to people. You have to have social skills. You have to work out the money equation, how much it's going to cost, how much you have to charge. You have to look at the shoe and see if it's worth repairing or not. You have to buy the right materials. A vast range of skills is involved here, and it's not really possible for one person to learn them all. And so that's why two is suggested. And by two we mean more than one, several, many. We're moving into the realms where each individual has to understand that alone we're powerless, really. We have to interact with others in order to get our work done, and in order to get our lives done as well, to organize our lives. We must learn how to play nice. We have to get along with other people, and to perhaps build the relationship that you have with not necessarily the inner circle of your life, but the associates of your life, your neighborhood. Make those relationships based on good exchange, shared activity, cooperation, collaboration. Base your relationships on what is exchanged between you. And then it's not dependent upon whether you find each other interesting company or even relaxed beingness together. These two things often develop out of the first. But if you actually structure your relationships with the outer circle of your life on the basis of how you can help each other, how you can serve each other, this exchange of goods and services that binds our community together, this must not be trivialized. It's the binding force of a community. And so we need to work to develop skills in that way. And it's good to try and create collaboration on the basis of what I want and what you want overlap somewhere. And that's the best place for us to live our relationship. So if that's not the case, then one of us is getting something that the other reluctantly gives. But if we can find this place of overlap where both of us are getting what we want when we're together, then we have synergy, we have good rapport, we have the juice, in a sense, of life is lived out through that kind of collaboration. To find out where that overlap is, you need to ask questions. You need to not make assumptions. I mean, when you go into a cobbler's shop and you say, "Will you repair my shoes, please?" and they'll say, "Yes, that's going to cost you $10. On the face of it, you've got a mutuality of agreement. They want the money, you want the shoes mended. Good starting point. But there's more than that. Both of you want to trust each other. You want to trust that your shoes are going to be dealt with properly. They want to trust that you're going to pay them at the end of the transaction. That trust then operates the next time when you come into the shop the second time. You learn trust. Now, it's like that with your friends. The first time you meet somebody, you might trust them. They might let you down, so then you won't trust them the second time. But if they don't let you down and they do what they say and they never hurt you and they never speak against you, bit by bit, you learn to relax with them, and then you can expand the range of collaborative appropriateness. You can collaborate on a wider, deeper scale. And this is how you build your life, actually, by finding more and more people to collaborate with. Yeah, in a sense, I mean, we could extend that to include play. It's not collaboration in the true sense of working together, but play and relaxing and having fun and hanging out. I mean, these are all collaborations of a sort. And if you find that you're not getting what you want from an involvement with somebody, you're going to move on pretty soon, if you've got any sense anyway. So there isn't any other place to live, really. As you develop the understanding that this is how to live, it gives you a motivation to expand your sense of reflexive self-consciousness. This is the mystery of spiritual life, seeing yourself through the eyes of another. So when you're trying to create this collaborative interactivity, finding the common space between you, you have to understand the other person's point of view. What do they really want from you? People will say that they want this, but in fact they actually want that. Everyone. Nobody really knows what they want, you see. And you have to work it out. What does that person really want from you? It may be that they don't know what you can do, and so they can't ask. It may be that you don't know what you can do, and you feel the expansion of possibilities with this person for the first time. You can open up adventurous ideas together. But you'll only do that if you see things from their point of view as well as your own. If you only see your own agenda, then life becomes very grey and harsh. If you see the other person's point of view at the same time as your own, then there's this beautiful, energetic collaboration of possibility that unfolds. And that's moving towards spiritual awareness. Eventually, you get to the point where you can do that with a larger number of people, and you can see what everyone in the group wants and create that for the group. And that can be taken up to a bigger group and a bigger group, until eventually you understand what humanity wants of you. And then, taking it further up, you can create this idea of what God might want for you. Although I don't agree with that general idea that God wants anything, especially particular things from us. But it's good to think in that way, because actually what we're saying is, what does my highest sense, my highest self want of me? And then we move into true spiritual awareness. So now we see the cobblers very differently. They're not just mending shoes at all. They're not simply in business partnership to survive and make money. That's much, much more than that. What they're doing is training each other mutually in reflexive self-consciousness. And I have the image of these two old guys who are in their 60s or 70s. They've been doing the job for 50 years, and they're of one mind. Somebody comes in and both of them just know exactly what to do, because they've done it 1,000 times before, and they know the game. And they're almost like a unified energy. They work together as one. That's a tremendously high achievement spiritually. That's what this is about. Moving away from self-identification towards identification of self as part of something bigger and more glorious that could not be experienced alone.